in memory of Steve Jobs. And every time some dear flesh disappears, what is real is the arriving grief. For every day the best among us die, and from the corners of the world we cry, not for the sake of losing them, but for the fear we speak to in the night. Where else to cower then, when waning light approaches grounds from which we stem? For every day we try for telling chance, but oftentimes forget the circumstance we cannot ever turn away. We do not choose to whom we may be born. Whatever home arrives as new or worn is ours, and lullabies may play. We sometimes find the renegade among our ranks, who questions where he does belong, with drumbeat heart and eye for skies, and fingertips on quite an errant pulse. Let trouble come, and he shall stay, or else upon the midnight hour he dies. Vast swaths of us make ordinary lot. We do what we are told, and find the knot a dreadful, disconcerting job. We are content to keep at status quo. We eat our meals with thermoses in tow. To open doors, we turn the knob. No matter if a Herculean task, to reshape landscapes, never think to ask, and never hesitate to tell. The mythic era will not bend or pause when pressed upon to heed a human cause. Who among us will march in hell? But one, the crazy one, as we are told. For if this were a fable we unfold, we must entrust the margins of its book to capture all that make us who we are, and all the good or bad we do, including renegades we love. Upon the back of 1984, he took the revolutionary for the sake of rendering release. The irony of such dystopia is platform for a new utopia, with which he only sought to please. That fateful day, though, was the banishment. Rank forests howled, birds cowered, and thunder rent the tower he had built and owned. Oh, we are human, after all. The edifice of our mortality may now confess, he often cried and never phoned. At times desire is irrepressible, what makes us pulse incomprehensible. Who among us will squabble with advances in the field and on the screen? From awe to smile, we see those creatures mean such bowls of joy and cups of myth. Was he the prodigal we came to know? Extravagance, we may suppose, must go along with his rebelliousness. No, his return was no repentant hour. It was a validation of the power beneath his brilliant recklessness. Oh, what horizons must have stretched like gold that only he could see and none foretold. His homage to the geniuses instilled a century of us with hope. The odd do have a place along the slope he made with all he had, not less. He found the avenues to gather fans, and carpentered the stage on which they dance. First, cool device. Subscription next, with dimes and nickels, yes. They came in hordes when hordes of them had cut commercial cords. They bought it, even if perplexed. The advent of the telephone was past. Inventors slid into another caste. But he, with quite another scheme in mind, saw it quite differently than they. Those cumbersome machines that work and play now slip in pockets for a dream. The shift was on then. From lean forward to sit back, a monumental pad could true the crooked and arthritic back. Touch, and tectonic particles excite across a micro-universe of light. How light indeed from weight they lack. But oh, how time robs us and makes us frail. We may be wont to never sleep and rail instead against mortality, disease, and age. There is no innovate for this, but he shall never supplicate and always fight such laity. What are we left with then? Where do we go? How to avoid that dreadful night we know. We sleep, wake up, and go to work. Another day to earn a privilege. Then home to ones we love. Our children pledge to pray and eat with knife and fork.